More than half of Belize's population lives in rural settings. Culturally vibrant towns, serene seaside villages, or verdant family farms. These 170,000 men, women, and children, mostly of Maya, Garifuna, Creole, Mestizo, and East Indian descent, play a vastly overlooked role in the diversified national economy. Official poverty assessment data indicate that the poverty rate for rural residents is actually double the rate for urban dwellers, and just over half the people in rural areas fall below the poverty line. The base of the economy must, therefore, be broadened to provide a greater space for rural residents to participate more meaningfully in wealth creation in the national economy. The primary objective of Belize Rural Development Program is to promote this kind of economic expansion. The beneficiaries of the BRDP-2 project reflect on the benefits and challenges of rural life.
I came here, according to them, I was 3 months old. I was transferred from one village in 1941. So they brought us here, that said here, to settle this area. So I grew up here since 1941, and village life is the best part of my life. When there is no light, when there is no traffic, no pollution or anything, I believe you live in heaven that way. I grew up here under the stars and the moon and the sun. And life was great. Life was great living in a village. We have abundance of everything. There was love, there was food, there was everything.
But I love Lucky Strike. I love the peace of mind we have. I love the people. I love the fresh air where they breathe. You there hours, you got nothing to do. You run, go to a pan, and you heave your line. If you even catch belam, you scrape it and you fry it. And you eat it if you want. I don't care how big it big. Once you got head, the fish.
City life, I never like it when I grew up, telling you the truth. Until when I meet my husband, you know where I tell her? Babe, I don't want to live that town. Can't live that village with me. My husband say I try it first, and it may feel funny for a little while for here, when you maybe live the city, I just don't want to live village life. If you catch one bus to go to work, you have to get up 4 o'clock. If you walk out, if you catch the first bus to go to work. So he may find it really difficult first, but gradually get used to it, and he'll love it now. You can't tell about city.
I grew up in Jacintoville, and I lived here in Cat Landing for 10 years. And to me, village life is better than living in a town, because you have time for yourself and for your family. In the town, you cannot even have a place where you can recreate. The houses are so close together, but in the villages, I have a nice family setting. I have a yard where my children can go and play, and I like it here in the villages.
I feel good here that I grow here in Benke. I think it's a very calm place. You don't hear that they're killing people, and whenever. I think it's a calm place, and I'm very proud of Benke.
It's a peaceful life, because as I grew up, for example, I would say I lived at my grandparents' place, along with my father and my family. We grew up in a farm, and that has been more of like an interest to me to live within nature.
I live in this village all my life, and that's 40 years. And with village life, it's very nice. You can wake up in the morning and have no fear. Village life is very sweet, very, very sweet.
Originally, I was born in Belize City, right? My parents were Angela and Gregorio Heredia. But because of Hurricane Hattie, my dad had already bought the place out here. So because of Hurricane Hattie, we migrated out here. I migrated at the age of 16 years old. So I live out here from 1961, from Hurricane Hattie. And I got married at the age of 18 years old to one Alan Jones. And then I ended up with 6 kids. I had 7 kids, but one died. 2 years and 5 months, and I have 6 left, 2 boys, 4 girls. And I think I have 18 grandchildren, about 6 great-grands, something like that. I made up my mind that this is it. Here we have to call home. So we couldn't do anything about it, whether we want or wanted not. And my dad had already started farming. He had bought the land about a year before, I think it was 1960. And he planted potato, wheat potato, like 12 months cooking a coconut milk. So shake a Hurricane Hattie, right? But we couldn't do any better.
We are feeling difficult living in San Jose because we live far. We no got current, we no got better roads. That's why we little bit sometimes we feel it hard in our life, because sometimes we need some things, like a lot of things like sun or everything we wanted. Sometimes it's really hard to come if you want to build a house.
Well, right now we still don't have running water, but it's on the way. The electricity, about 11 years now we had electricity run here, but before that we used to have a generator. And we only use the generator when night comes, and when you're ready to go to bed, you turn off the generator. So that only use at night. So apart from that, we never really missed the electricity because we still used to have light when night comes.
In the village you don't have like internet, and here at town there is more like internet, more service. I think it's better because like less corruption, less crime. You can focus more on your studies and less distractions.
Living in Lucky Strike, it's a very peaceful community. We get along very good. We have, it's like a family then. We go out for each other, we help each other. I said it's not a big community. We consists of 304 people to be exact, living here in Lucky Strike. We have 43, houses here and something like 48 families that live in this community. And it's a really, nice community.
We have like easily 5,000 people in Independence right now. We have like just under 2,000 voters. So our schools are full to capacity. They're overflowing. So I think we're a growing community. We have the tourist ships that will be coming in maybe in the next 2 years from now. And it's a community that you could never underestimate. It's growing and growing and growing daily. Chinese are coming in hand over fist, and we could safely say that yes, it is a big plus to our village. When I came here, it was a village of like maybe 18, 20 people. When all the other companies move out, the Belize estate was the last one to go. We had, it was practically a town with the amount of people and turnover that was here. Hercules and the banana industry that started and collapsed, and then it started again, revived in 1971, and from then on to today, it's a urban business for Independence and all the surrounding villages. And the EU has been more than helpful in every aspect of where they can help in the banana industry. We have received subsidies from the EU. Banana has now become a commodity that people eat. And it's one of the most eatable fruit in the world right now. It has even surpassed apples. Banana was the #1 last year, consumption-wise.
Farming is everything right now. Living in a rural area, you need to have, like you see, I have my chickens, and we do a bit of fishing in the dry season whenever the water goes down. And it's like that here in the village, survival, you know. I do construction work too. Farming decreased because of the highway, education. Everybody find themselves working from maybe a 8 to 5 job, and that's what they do to survive. So you go around Cookie Tree Village, if you find 10 people raising chickens, it's a lot. And every household used to have the same. That's the difference with it now. But living in the city, the only difference with out there, you have to have a job, you have to have a steady income coming, otherwise you go be in problem. Even if you have your own home, right? Disregarding the others who don't have their own homes, who have to pay, who have to find the money for the house rent every month. In Cookie Tree Village, well, most of the people who living here, or me for instance, this is my home.
Well, what happened is that it's a terrible Cookie Tree, because some people said there were like three men that came looking for Lagood, the Tillits, the Jellits, and the Crawford. And some people say it's from a crooked bully tree that we all know as kids that crooked bully tree, because we used to go picnic there when we were small. And they used to say this is the tree that Cookie Tree got its name from, the crooked bully tree. First thing, I work in the community because I am a community health worker. So I do my community health working job. And I live with a farmer because that's what we do for a living. We do farming. So we get up in the morning, I have to take care of the pigs. If Mike is not around, but whenever he's around, he would help me to take care of whatever, like the chicken, we have to feed them, give them water, see the other animals taken care of. And we do a lot of things because we even make oil. We have some coconut, we do coconut oil, we do cocoon oil. We do a little of everything as a farmer.
First thing when I wake up in the morning, I go and feed the chickens, check them that everybody's okay. I deal with the hatcheries, the one that sets the baby chicks. Then I go and deal with the big chicks. Then about 12 o'clock I go and check again if their water is okay, collect eggs. Then evening about 5 o'clock, let them out of the run so they can come outside in the yard and feed on the grass. I pick up eggs. Then in the night, about 7, 8 o'clock, I go and check them, count them, see everybody in the coop. Then I close them up for the night. I have right now about 75 chickens, with small and big. Like right now we are doing the cashew, which is for the first 6 months, because I think March we start to work on it. We're still working with the cashew, which is another income with the chicken. We collect the fruits, we sell the fruits, we sell the juice. The nuts we throw them up for right now, we are doing the nuts. The fruit, we sell it just natural, or we stew it, we make jam, we make jelly. The cashew juice, we sell them, everything.
Although I was just a child, I find out living out here in the village, you have a lot more advantages because we have land, and that you could do a little bit of agriculture and stuff like that, and raise chicken and stuff. Although I didn't went into it, but my mother and different people. And with the wood carving, because we have space. Because we know doing the wood carving, we have to do it in a safe area that maybe the dust and other things that not affect other people. So we have areas to put that one side and do our carving, and we get the wood right from here in the jungle. So it's an advantage. The thing is about village life, and specifically Lucky Strike, that I know about Lucky Strike, Roxton and surrounding. People is very friendly, helpful. There's not a time, and I know this is different from in the village, that if you have any burglary or things like that, people would work together to bring justice. Even if it's in the night, there we have people that you can call upon. And when there is death or stuff like that, we don't have to do any payment of digging or stuff like that. And then with activities, we have a community center. Right now we have a fitness group going on at the center every evening for the women. And then they have stuff for the children. Do work for yourself, which most of us, as you see, is involved in. We work for ourselves, so it's like, you come to work like 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours the most. You could go back home, and before and after in the morning, you could do breakfast for your family and go back home in the evening and stuff like that. It's very convenient. Although we have our highs and lower seasons, it's like your own bath.
Well, growing up on a farm, it's fun. You get to make a lot of noise if you're playing music. You have a big yard and stuff. And otherwise, living in the town, you have certain hours you can't make noise and stuff. There's no wildlife probably in the town. Back there we can do our farming. We can plant veggies, fruits. We can have them close by the house and stuff. And you're breathing fresh air at the farm, and that's positive air, I'd say.
I like my village because of the productive land that they have, and the people, the kind people, and they love to work together.
We had farmland, and then we started out farming. We plant our vegetables that we could have planted.
We could plant rice, corn, and so on. Those are the basic food that we have, that we are growing here.
My first daughter is 16 years. My son, the 13. And the next one, the 10. And the fourth one, the 7. And my last baby, the 6. Raising the family is very hard, especially like this when I counsel and my picnics stay home and they need food for them lunch. And it's hard for me. When I reach, I have to work. When I reach, I have to wash everything. My picnic food, I have to make them food for my picnic. I want to make them have education. I don't want to make them go to the bush. I want to make them get education. Make them go and look for some job. I don't want to make them go wherever they go. They tell me that they want education and they look for some job for them. That's why I did try to send them to school.
I grew up with my father here in San Antonio, in the jungle. He is a farmer and he do his own farming. He don't have no job, so that's why it's kind of hard for us or for him to send us to school. But he tried his best, and that's how we get our education from primary to secondary schools only. He encouraged me to do farming, so that's why I do farming right now, and I have my own cacao field. I have 92 farmers here in San Antonio growing cacao, and my father is one of them. So as a farmer, we also do our milk pan. We do corn, rice, beans, and we also grow plantain, bananas, and other fruit trees. Yeah, like right now, it's a biodiversified field I have with lone timber trees, palmwood, mahogany, cedars, coconut, other kind of citrus plants, oranges, tangerines. All of them are right there. And
when I am a boy, I used to work along with my father because there is no school in the Alquilo, just only farming. But afterwards, when my father came in San Antonio, I am 11 years old when we reached the village of San Antonio. Then I started school, and after that 11 and then 14 years I'm out of school again. When we came here, my father started his farm here. We chopped the high bush and then plant rice, and then after that we start to plant cacao, and then after that when I grew, maybe I'm 19 years old, well I decided to find my wife, and then 20 or 21 I came to live here,
I came here from 1977. Then I started to plant my cacao field. But the same as I see with my father, I cut down the bush and then I burn it and then I plant corn, rice, and then after that I planted cacao among the rice and the corn. And then I plant banana and plantain for the shade.
Then I moved, find a job in Belize City, then worked there for 9 years. Then I decided to come back at San Antonio again. The difference is that when you're there at Belize City, you know, you have to buy things, you know, like village is different. Village and city is totally different. The thing is, all what you need for eat and so you have to buy at Belize City, and then or any village, I mean town or city you go, you have to. Nothing like in the village, you know. Well, the village, you know, you plant yours, you plant your own, you see what you're growing. The city, you can't do that.
There's definitely more advantage living on a farm because you can do your own sustainable farming. You know, sustainable, like in terms of you can do a little garden to grow your peanuts, and sometimes you can grow your sweet peppers, your tomatoes. You can grow a lot of little vegetables just to sustain the family. And for every crop season, you can change and maybe, of course, a little help from another job would help. You know, like maybe you work at a resort or work for somebody else, and when you come home on your days off, weekend, you have your family also that maybe well, if you want, you can teach them to take care of the farm and things. But then when you go to work, and then when you come back, you can also work there. And so I would say that village life in a farm is far better than living, you know, around a lot of people.
I grew up here and I have all my family here. My sisters, my brothers, uncles, and whatever. Yeah, all of the family live mostly in the village. We say that we are Mayan. The story that we heard, that I have heard, that Yucatec Maya people, our old ancestors came from Mexico. They fled from Mexico coming to Belize. But I think that when San Antonio started, there was just like 11 families that started this village. I think the population of San Antonio is over 3,000.
I'm 15 years old right now and I feel happy to live in San Antonio, the village, because here's a lot of places like to go and having a walk with my friends and other things. When I grow up, I want to find a work and maybe go out of the village.
Actually, no, I'm planning to move out to town. It's closer for me to come to work and stuff. You have everything closer. Although I'm pretty much gonna miss the farm, you know. It's really nice at the farm.
For the past 2 years now, what I'm doing, I'm trying to see if I could sustain myself. But living in the area here in our village, it's far from the town and the cities. It's really hard working. Living here, because you will find out that going out of the village, you take a bus from here, because we have 2 buses here. It's really a very challenging situation to be traveling, because the road conditions, some of the times, right now the road is kind of alright, but last year the road is very bad, and you have to wake up early in the morning to catch any one of the buses. The first bus leaves at 3:30 in the morning, and the second one goes at about 4. Yeah, and that's all we have, just 2 buses. They leave PG again at one at 11:30, next one at 12. You have to come back because there's no other bus after that. If you get left, you can't come back. If you get left, well, you can catch a bus going to Santa Cruz through the highway now, and you come out by Santa Cruz, and you walk the bypass, they call it, between just that way Santa Cruz and San Jose, which is 2.5 miles. It's not if you are not used to walking, you will feel the up and down because you have some big hills, up and down hills.
Sometimes the road is so bad we can't get out.
When the weather is very bad, we can't even come out from village to come to town. The road is small. Sometimes we get stuck there and it washes away and it gets flooded. We have to wait until the water comes down so that we can make it.
Even as a nurse when I work, in fact I was transferred to the Rockview Hospital for that reason because I couldn't get to work really on time as I wanted to.
I spent most of my life in the rural area. I went to Belize when I started high school. And then during holiday time, I go back to the rural. And when I graduated from high school, then I still came back home and I'm there up to now. I went to the Anglican Cathedral College. I take general studies and I went back to the rural area because I just enjoy living up there with all the nature and things. I didn't really like the city life in a whole.
Our high school students sleep here. Before we had to sleep in the Angriga town when you go to high school. You have to sleep in the Angriga, stay there, and you will only come home maybe on weekends or during the holidays. But now since we have the road, we have the buses running the students from here every day. So they do not have to sleep in somebody else's home.
Growing up in this village was rough times, good times, all sorts of things. For one, going to school, we never live on this side. We used to live over the river. If you can notice the river running between, we spend like 20 odd years over that side. Then going to school, we got to wake up in the morning, use a dory, walk to school, and the road was just Picardo Road, not road like this, just some little trails to go to school. And when we come back in the evening, my grandfather used to do farming, so we have to come home, go to plantation, plant some things for him, go back home, do your homework, drink your tea, and drink your tea before night. And you couldn't be out late at night because they don't want you to be out late at night. So when you're out late, your teachers will come outside and make them not know.
When I came here, there was no electricity, no running water, no TV. So it was like, you want to say a poor way of life, but a happier way of living. Because you had the huge sea in front of you, the people are friendly, everything is homegrown, all the stuff are grown, people going to the farm, neighborhood like in Corzal, you don't know your neighbors don't know you. Here it's that neighborly way of living. Now going from here to Chicago was a big shock. First of all, it's a huge city. You have to be on the go every single day. There's no relaxing. If you don't go to work, you don't make any money. One, it was cold, you freeze compared to, and the third thing was coming back and making something of Hopkins, and that's what we did. I came back home. A lot of people said, why are you going home? This is all good life in Chicago. But why would I want to stay there when this is home?
People are still stick to their traditional way of life, fishing. Now it is basically diversified with the tourism industry. A lot of the people here are employed in the tourism industry, whether directly or indirectly, for the most part, directly. But life here is fairly smooth and people enjoy Hopkins. Leisure time, people still spend time playing their little dominoes, playing sports and things like that. So.
In the village, it is the best place to raise your children. It is much required. Things happen, but it is a much more on a smaller scale than in the city. It is much more healthier in the village. You know, it is calmer, and like I said, healthier generally.
We want drink we bush tea. You don't have to drink it every day. But I mean, we know we're good for we. For instance, I diagnosed with cholesterol and triglyceride. But I can't, I have over 2 years I not gone back to the doctor. I'm not boasting, but we're happy. I do my home remedy. I drink my garlic, I drink my vinegar. You know you're not business to eat fatty food, you not eat fatty food. Why you don't fool yourself? Huh? And I not tell you so that maybe for whole week you don't eat fatty food, you're gonna Belize, you see the fried chicken, you smell it, you want it. That not signifies that you must go eat a whole fried chicken. One day belly full of fat magadag. You eat one little piece and just satisfy your taste and your taste bud and thing, right? Because we got a pan we fish in, we catch we fresh fish. We do where we make we fish tea, we know and do lone fried fish and things. Sometimes we do fried fish. We eat normal. We not over we not got dollar fat out here. So we not into that, right? We're not into that. We not got public so where we could run go buy pigtail and things, so we not eat anything there.
Scotland Half Moon, like for my family then, we have this farm and most of where we do that right from the farm. We right from the farm, we make with backyard garden. You grow the local chickens, you eat that, you grow the sheep, you eat that. Like most of the time if you have a party or so, the sheep will get it. Yeah. These days, a lot of people get into the goats. Make curry goat and even for party and thing, a lot of goat then come add on.
I'm not comfortable living anywhere else than Hopkins because I love being free. Because here I can go, in my community I can go anywhere, any part of the night, anytime I wanted to. But in the city, it is not the same. There's too much violence around.
I like my village life because I don't hear no gunshot. I could sleep, I could lift my bath pan and my clothes on the line and sleep so good. That's the reason why I love my village life. And everything we get from the farm is fresh. Fresh to eat. So morning I get up, I don't have to run go buy nothing. Everything. I chef up something because I like to cook.
In the morning I would get up, I go in my garden, I would pick my spinach. I have my chicken, local chicken, the eggs that is so much nicer than the other eggs. And you know you could get up and you don't have anything to eat, you would go and kill a few of your local chicken. And it's so organic because we try to be as organic as we could. Because in my garden I don't want to use any fertilizer. I use the chicken dung to chicken stool to do the fertilizing. We make our own pesticide because I use the cashew vinegar as a weed killer. So you know we do a lot of things that we use right here that we don't have to buy.
Well, I was born on a farm in Mayped. I now live got a half moon on a farm. I studied agriculture at the Belize College of Agriculture, and I taught agriculture for 11 years, and I'm now on the farm for 5 years plus. Why I love the farm is because of the freedom you have, and the fresh fruits and milk and meat, and the flavor is just different. When you go and buy stuff from the town, from the city, it's all stale, and the flavor is far different from fresh products. Probably with me and my family, we own over 100 acres of land, and we have different sites. We have access to the river, we have access to the forest. We go fishing, we go hunting, we go just nature walk.
I think now things are changing in terms of the lifestyle where we had at one time people used to spend time reading or involved in community activities. Now because of television and all of that, People spend more time basically at home as well. So there are internet cafes here. People as well have their own home internet, so people are in tune to the world as we speak.
We are finding out that we have road, yes. People find employment. People afford to pay their bills because of the roads. So we have employment going on in the community. So the work, that road there now, we'll see more people coming into this community. And we need to have more businesses, because now I'm not making good business, but when that road is better than how it is, I think I will make more money before I die. I will sell more drums.